There's a reason no one talks about this box, and I probably shouldn't tell you either. But the best stories always start with something you were never meant to open.
And the worst ones don't start, they escape.
Ezra Finch wasn't a conspiracy theorist. He didn't care about hidden maps or lost cities. He wasn't chasing fame. He was looking for something real. In 2009, Ezra became obsessed with this place. A place that doesn't show up on any maps. It wasn't blocked, it wasn't covered, it was just missing. Like the world had deleted it. Ezra stopped using technology. He used the stars to travel, old campuses, hand-drawn charts. He painted the spirals on his walls. He made his own calendar with symbols instead of days. He circled dates that never came. And then he reached it. And after that, he was never seen again. There are no police records. He just stopped existing.
Names are easy to erase, but he left more than that.
7 years later, a box showed up at his sister's door. No name, no return address, no messages. Inside the box was a smooth, black stone. It was heavy, it felt wet, and it was still warm. And on the bottom edge were teeth.
They bit something once and never stopped tasting.
The stone wasn't carved, it wasn't fossiled, it had grown that way. It looked almost human, but everything about it felt wrong. Someone tested it once, in secret. The results were locked away, and the lab tested it, gone, destroyed, erased. Ezra never came back, but people still find coordinates from his journals. They pass them around in secret. The kind of people who follow those numbers usually don't come back either. Ezra wasn't the first to find the place, but he is the only one who left a souvenir. The others, I will tell you about them later.
There's a place the maps can't hold. It moves when you look for it.
People who search for it always report the same strange thing. Their clocks stop. They lose hours they can't explain. Words come out of the radio, but the words sound ancient and wrong. They start to forget why they came. One man was found walking in circles with the campus. He didn't remember his name, but he had carved coordinates into his own arms. And he kept whispering some numbers.
Another man wrote a 400-page report, then forgot how to read. He spent the rest of his life giving directions to his fridge.
The place they were all looking for, it doesn't show up on any map. It's not hidden behind security or protected by government. It's just gone, like the world removed it on purpose. Some say it's just a strange magnetic zone. Others believe it's a living thing buried deep in the earth. But no matter what you call it, the closer people get, the more realities start to break. It doesn't block people with walls. It makes them forget who they are. And it changes what's real.
The place doesn't hide, it tells lies, and the world listens.
And it's been happening for a long time. There are old maps from the 1400s with the spirals burned in the middle, ancient globes with melted center, ancient drawings showing giant eyes surrounded by broken lines and sharp shapes, like something trapped beneath the land was trying to scream. Some of the stories are terrifying. A ship in 1974 froze solid in less than 2 minutes. It was surrounded by warm water and clear sky, and no one survived. A drone crashed without a scratch. When it was found, days later, there were fresh numbers buried inside the camera lens from the inside.
When a place loses its name, it doesn't disappear. It becomes hungry, and it waits for someone to speak its name again, so it can reach through them.
Everyone asks the same thing. What is it? Is it a place? A rift? Some kind of creature? But that's the wrong question.
It's not what it is, it's what we were before it was buried.
You were told the world is round, but maybe that shape was made for a reason. To keep us spinning in circles and to keep it in the center. I will show you what's been circling it for centuries. Every map avoids it, but if you look closer, there's something circling that void. Not cities, not landmarks, symbols. Spirals, eyes, broken campuses carved into stone. Ancient sailor charts mark the edge with phrases like, "No line shall cross," or "beyond the breadth of land." It's not just missing, it's guarded.
Of course it is. You humans love pretending the unknown is accidental, that a missing place on a map is just a printing error. But this was designed to be forgotten. The old ones didn't cover it. They ringed it like a minefield, not to stop the thing inside from escaping, but to stop you from wandering too close and waking it up.
A 13th century map in Prague. All the continents are there. But instead of North Pole, there is just a spiral. Underneath it, in Latin phrase, it says, "We return, but not the same."
Ah yes, that one still tastes familiar. They did return, with teeth, with names burned backward into their skin, because the center doesn't take pieces of you, it rearranges them.
So what is this ring? A field, some kind of defense?
You think like a mammal. It's not a wall, it's a drift, a zone where time slows just enough to make you feel safe, right before direction itself begins to fold inward. You call it magnetic distortion, I call it the edge of the thing, that remembers your ancestors' faces.
And people keep trying. They see the spirals and they move towards it, like it's calling.
Of course it is. It wants you close, so it can measure your shape, so it can see if you still match the first ones who tried.
So maybe it's not hidden at all. It's just circling.
And waiting for someone foolish enough to break the loop.
It doesn't stay hidden all the time. Sometimes something slips. A satellite feed glitches. And for 1.2 seconds, the center isn't empty anymore. It's not land, not ocean, just a shape, geometric, moving, like reality flinched.
Ah, yes, the first pulse event, it burned out a $40 million satellite and gave a technician a nosebleed from 4,000 kilometers away.
It's always the same pattern. First the maps distort, line ripples, contours twist, then there's a sound. Sometimes a frequency spike, sometimes a tone no one hears but feels. One researcher described it like a piano key being pressed in your teeth.
She wasn't wrong. That's the sound of memory folding. It happens when the world bends itself to hide something older than direction.
Disclassified documents mention something called event echoes, where old nautical maps became reshaping themselves during magnetic storm. Coordinates twist into spirals, text changing into broken Latin, and every case, someone nearby either collapse or disappear.
But the ones who disappear, they're not the worst part. It's the ones who come back. One man reappeared 12 minutes later, but he was 27 years older, and he wouldn't blink.
Then there is the maps, photographs, ancient ones, where the center is clearly marked. Black ink, spirals, sometimes an eye. But when it scans or digitalized, the symbols just vanish. Not blur, not fade, just vanish. As if the digital world doesn't allow it to exist.
Because it doesn't. Your systems are designed to obey rules, and the center. It predates rules. Every time you try to name it, it remembers what it used to be, and it does not want that name spoken again.
It didn't forget the center. It made us forget. Some didn't try to reach it. They tried to be seen by it. There are ancient rituals carved into stone, but not prayers, more like instruction. One site in northern Greenland had tattooed symbols burned into a cliff wall. They don't match any known language, but when you digitalize it and convert it into frequency, they produced a low hum that stops clock.
Ah, the Whisper Cliff. The last archaeologist who scanned it still dreams in static, wakes up humming, but only in prime numbers.
There is a myth from a Burya people in Siberia. They speak of a missing sky, a hole in the world where stars fall upward, and people return from it transparent. In a remote village in Ethiopia, an oral tale describes a circle of land that breathed once a century. The elder says it inhales the name of those who kneel in silence.
They weren't worshipping it, they were baiting it, trying to wake it to earn its attention, and sometimes it blinked.
At least 3 burial sites have been found with human remains positioned in spirals, each one facing a campus that doesn't exist. Not north, not magnetic, something else.
Directional memory, they weren't facing Earth, they were aiming themselves back into the forgetting.
And the worst part, some of them succeeded. In 1981, a group of researchers opened a seal tomb in Highlands. It contained no body, just a carved message scratched into the stone from the inside out. I made it look, and now I can't close my eyes.
Oh yes, he begged it to remember him, and it did. Every mirror he walked past cracked, but only on the side facing him.
They wanted the center to look back, but no one asked what he would see.